We paid for the boat tour half too. Do you know where it goes?
You have 2 boats.
Yes.
The flagship.
Flagship. Everybody here is really helpful.
Over there.
Yes?
It's the right museum.
Yes?
And the other side.
Just on the other side. So go to the tower, go right.
You walk like this, so 10 minutes.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
You know, the first time I came to the Netherlands, when people found out I was Canadian in the small town I was in, there was maybe like 100 people in that town. I went to visit like a World War II memorial. Everybody found out they wouldn't let me pay for anything.
Wait, really?
Because Canadians were the first to liberate towns in the Netherlands.
No, that's actually sweet.
They bled for it. There's even a program if you wish to come as a Canadian to visit like war memorials and things like that. They'll give you a diplomatic tour. They'll give you like
really?
they'll give you people to drive you around to everything. Anybody from Canada. It's actually wild. You have to apply for it. Nope. No, we're gonna go sit on a boat. We're gonna go sit on a boat. I'm leaving. Bye. I'm taking your stream. I don't know what that is. Wow, it's crazy. You can't even see its eyes.
It's so
super black head
pretty.
with like a white beak. It's big chilling on one leg. It's trying to have a snooze. Let's not bother it.
I'm hungry.
We will get food immediately after this tour, unless you want to bail on the tour that we paid for. We're gonna have a boat tour for like an hour, hour and a half.
I'm going to eat his brains out.
What the fuck? What are you, a zombie? Yeah.
Good evening and welcome on board. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Oh, lovely. Very excited about it. So, did you guys enjoy this very not too rainy day in Amsterdam?
He was running around.
It was alright, right? We even had some sun at some point, so very nice. So, welcome on board of the Swan. That is the name of this boat. I am 22 years old, born and raised right here in Amsterdam. If you're worried I'm lying due to my English accent, that is because my stepdad is English. I'm in fact from Amsterdam. As your host, my responsibility is essentially your guys' drinks and entertainment. This is of course the Heineken Experience X-Flagship boat. So we got a different drink selection than usual. I'm sure you didn't expect it at all, but we got Heineken. If you would like a beer already, stick up your hand.
You gonna have a beer?
Yeah.
I want to try this. Yeah.
Curious.
I'll pay attention next time. Catch it.
We're in a tunnel.
I can't see.
So you were blind. Can I show chat?
I would like everyone to grab their drinks, hold them up. Prost. Lovely. That is cheers in Dutch, also in German, of course. You guys will be needing that. Hope you're here to learn some stuff as well. Even if you're not, doesn't matter. My boat, my rules. I'd like to do a little thing for my personal safety. I'd like to know where everyone on the boat is from, and then I will avoid offending people with my jokes, right?
From Canada, she doesn't tell people.
I don't tell people. Yeah.
Whereabouts in Canada are you from?
Midwest, Saskatchewan.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I come
Middle of nowhere.
So pretty. Hold on.
Has anyone been to Amsterdam before already? Okay, some people have, so I can't lie too much. Now, does anyone already know how old Amsterdam is?
1,000 years.
Perfect. 750, 10 points for Michigan, I believe it was. So, this year is indeed our 750th birthday. It has been officially 750 years that Amsterdam is seen as a city. It started off maybe like 800, 900 years ago as a tiny little fisherman's village where the main catch was herring, or Dutch haring. Traditional way of eating herring. You take the entire fish, you grab it by the tail, and you drag it through some onions and then through some pickles, and then you go like that, right? That is quite a challenge to do for most people, especially because you have to do it quickly, because if you don't do it fast enough, I've seen it happen, right? Where people will be standing there at the fish, taking pictures for Instagram, and then a bird comes by. You don't want to be that guy. I'd recommend eating it the civilized way, which is either on a sandwich or in a box, cut up in bunch of pickles. It's very, very nice. There's even a Dutch saying that goes 1 herring a day keeps doctor away. However, 2 herring a day keeps everyone away. It is raw fish of onion, right? So be very careful. All of these roofs have pointy roofs, because Amsterdam is a rainy place. In general, you'll find that the houses here are built quite a bit like the people. I am built quite a bit like the stereotypical average Dutch guy. What is he? Tall and skinny. And also beautiful, guys. Come on. And then the last thing about these houses, are they all straight? No. Once again, just like the people, right? Houses here being tall and skinny, that is because Amsterdam had a taxing system based on the width of your house. So the wider your house was, the more tax you paid. This is why I see so many rather large windows. They don't have any windows on the sides, right? So they have big windows, that's some light in your house. For those of you that haven't been inside, just imagine the staircase on this boat, but then the length of an entire house and winding around, right? The staircases here are absolutely suicidal. A funny thing I noticed in all these houses is that balconies are very, very rare. If they do have a balcony, it's often more decorational than anything else. canals. And it's for one very good reason. It's because the canals, they're not just canals, they're also sewage. Canals back in the day stunk tremendously, to the point that Amsterdam even had the nickname of the beautiful lady with a stinking breath, because that's how much the canals stunk, right? No one wanted the balcony. These houses often do have absolutely huge gardens. If you look on Google Earth, this is statistically, even one of the greenest parts of Amsterdam, simply due to the size of all the private properties behind these houses, right? For most Dutch people, we of course don't have access to a garden. What is our garden on nice sunny days? It's boats. It is quite common for like people in Amsterdam to just own a boat and then it's just like go. I think I might just close this one, just to be safe. Yeah, I see this building, right? It towers over the others. The Amsterdam canals used to have a building limit back in the day, because built on a swamp, the canals are too big, too heavy, they're sinking. So this is illegally big. How do you do something that is illegal without getting in trouble?
Be the government.
Be the government, right? Corruption, or as you guys Americans might call it, lobbying, right? How did this guy was able to get a house over here? The answer is in that house with the white pillars right there. That is a mayor's house. How did the mayor get the house? A house donation. So now this is the house of every mayor in Amsterdam.
I like how leaning it is.
Oh, that's the one on the corner right there, but the one with the white pillars. If you're curious about housing prices here, the house with the colored flagpole right there was sold in 2012 for 15 million. Maybe get your phones or cameras ready, because through that bridge right there, we're gonna have what we call the 7 bridges. Amsterdam is kind of built on like a curve in a U shape, so most of the canals tend to curve at some point. This is one of the only fully straight canals in Amsterdam.
Oh wow, it is. Wait, they align. You need to take a photo. That's really cool. Wait, chat. Take a screenshot. They all align.
If you guys were able to see all 7, you might get lucky. If you saw more than 7, you might have had enough Heineken. If you want to see more than 7, there's also a coffee shop around the corner. Naturally, on the most expensive canal in Amsterdam, we're also going to get the most expensive hotel. Right here on our right side, we got the Waldorf Astoria. This is basically the entire street block, but the inside is all connected. Cheapest room there will set you back between 700 to 1200 euros for a night. Most expensive room is the entire White House. How much do you guys think that is for one night? So the answer is 25,000. However, the minimum order is 4 days, by the way, though. So it's basically 100,000 right?
It smells of straight up weed right now.
That's crazy. Second boat ride in 2 days. What if we just get on a boat everywhere we go?
Also, my tits are popping. Look, Jen.
Stop. Thoughts. We are in public.
Ooh, cool. A bridge. A boat. Another boat. A bridge. Hey, chat. I'm gonna let you know I've been gaining weight.
Okay, guys.
I've got a cake
Does anyone here know
and got tits. Alright.
It is an English saying. The American version of it is liquid courage.
Oh, liquid courage.
So those who don't know what that means, Dutch courage, liquid courage mean the same thing. It's like drink, and then become brave enough to ask a girl out on a date or something stupid, right? Now, the origin of Dutch courage comes from our war to the English, because of course we had the Dutch trading company, but there was also the English one, right? So whenever we saw English boats at sea, England, of course, is a bigger country, has a big army and everything, so usually this didn't go very well for us. What the English is wondering is, why are these Dutch sailors still fighting? Well, they found out that the Dutch sailors were actually drunk when they drink of Geneva. The Geneva is a rather strong alcoholic beverage, and around 40%, that the Dutch actually drank for medical reasons, because Geneva is made out of juniper berries, therefore has vitamin C, and helps prevent scurvy on the ocean, right? Which is a disease you get if you don't eat enough fruit. The English, of course, thought this was a phenomenal idea, so they tried to copy Geneva, failed miserably. Does anyone know what drink came from Geneva? Gin, Geneva, it's kind of in the name, right?
Gin.
If you like gin, I'd highly recommend trying Geneva. Traditional way of drinking Geneva is what we call a kopstoot or a headbutt. They'll give you a tulip-shaped glass, and they'll fill it up all the way to the top. So you pick it up, it'll spill. Keep it on the table, and essentially we'll headbutt the table, bow down for a drink, slurp up the top part, and then pick it up. Feels like a bit of a headbutt the next morning, but that's just part of the fun. This little tradition of ours is probably why we lost most of the wars against England in the first place, and that's why this tour is in English, right? I'm still a bit upset about that. So I think in retaliation and revenge, it is only fair if I teach you guys a little bit of Dutch. I need 4 volunteers for a Dutch lesson. I want you guys to pick your number between 1 and 10. So basically we've got 3, 4, 5, 7. Perfect. You guys picked your level of difficulty. Easy, medium, difficult, good luck. Number 7 is never the lucky number on this boat. Personal question, do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend?
No. Thought about it.
We're gonna fix that for you, okay? You are gonna go out tonight, maybe join some others on this boat, and you're gonna find a Dutch boy or girl that you think's pretty, and you're gonna go up to them and say, hey, lekker ding.
Hey, like a dick.
Because lekker means tasty, dig means thing, so don't say dig. When you're calling someone lekker ding, you're basically calling them a hot piece of meat. You might get slapped, you might get kissed, 1 out of 10 times works every time. So, before I finish the rest of my Dutch lesson, has anyone here seen Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Yes, I love that show.
Great show.
Then I believe the houseboat of the yellow bit coming up is the house where Ted Lasso stayed on.
You don't understand. I love that show.
I hope they complete their story.
For those of you that don't care about Ted Lasso, I could also recommend looking down this street because you'll see a full view of the Southern Church.
That's it.
This?
I think so.
Alright, so to continue the Dutch lesson,
That's
number
sick.
4. I'm going to teach you a very Dutch word,
Shy.
right? It's the word gezellig. So
Oh my God, that's
gezellig
from Ted
essentially
Lasso.
means like
It's from
good
Ted
vibes,
Lasso.
good atmosphere, right? If you're with like a bunch
Gezellig.
of friends in a bar and it's nice, it's cozy, it's fun, then it's gezellig. Number, I don't know, this is the next one. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue, I can see that. Well, do you know Amsterdam's favorite color? Orange is the Netherlands' favorite color. Amsterdam's favorite color is this color green you see on the bridge right here. This color green is everywhere. Once you realize it, it's everywhere. It's the fences, it's the bridges, it's window frames, it's doors, it's all over the place. We give this color a special name, right? Now, in English, it'd be called kanaalboot green. In Dutch, however, that translates to grachtengordel groen.
What? Wait, say that again. Say that again.
Grachtengordel. You can do it. Gordel. Groen. There you go, very good. Now, before I do our last level, I'll quickly talk about this canal. It's Kloveniersburgval. I had one of the city walls of Amsterdam running through it back in the day. And we would go to that building over there, the pointy towers. That building is called the Waag, aka the weighing place. It was one of the city gates of the city, and when entering the city, you could weigh all your valuable items, such as gold, spice, etc. Items were not the only thing that weigh there. They'd also weigh these things that we call women. If a woman was considered as being too skinny, she might be able to ride a broomstick, therefore she'd be a witch. So they'd weigh her over there. If they determined she was in fact too light, then they'd burn her. If she burned, she's probably a witch. Didn't burn, definitely a witch. Someone is about to get burned. Number 7.
You would have been burnt.
I'm too tiny.
So I'm going to tell you a sentence we can use to describe the absolute utter beauty of these canals,
How
right?
did they
Now, these
decide
canals
how
are
much
beautiful.
was too little?
This sentence is not. It's
Full sentence.
so in English it's the 88 almighty all beautiful canals of the Canal of Amsterdam. In Dutch that is de 88 allemachtige grachten van de gracht.
No, you are trolling.
Can you say it one more time?
So say it again.
De 88 allemachtige prachtige grachten van de grachten van Amsterdam.
Yeah, I don't know that.
So guys, I want everyone to do it with me.
Oh,
God.
However, you need to be the loudest, yeah? So guys, with me, de 88 allemachtige prachtige grachten van de grachtengordel van Amsterdam. Ik heb zelf een YouTube post.
Nice.
If I do this every tour, my throat's done. I've also heard that like the hardest part of learning the Dutch language is because you can see top windows sometimes can be way smaller than bottom windows, right? Bottom windows can be very big, top windows very small. This is just a general way that Amsterdam is built. Is houses are built to be viewed from the ground up. So if you're standing at the bottom of this house looking it up, the small windows at the top create a sort of optical illusion that the house looks taller actually is. And that's also why art tends to be towards the top of the house, so it kind of forces you to look upwards, right?
Part of me thinks that I could live in one of the houses by the canal because it's so pretty. They're all leaning. I don't know if like the camera's tilted or something. Like I don't know if you guys can notice how tilted the houses are.
Looking up ahead of us, you'll see a beautiful bridge. Now,
Yeah.
this bridge is known as a skinny bridge, or in Dutch, the magere brug, which after your guys' Dutch language should be no problem to do. This bridge has a bit of a local legend associated to it.
I tried.
The Dutch allergic to vowels.
The bridge of love.
Say that in front of the stream.
Your love will last forever. So yeah,
Caught that chat, right? You heard what he
How
said.
much forever means to you. I'm gonna kiss underneath, not before, not after. This is not a canal anymore. This is the Amstel River. This is the only natural body of water in the city, and it's what fuels all of the water in the canal.
The musical theater then.
All the canals were dug out by hand.
We had
It's all natural.
Sting's new music in there.
And it's also the place that actually gave Amsterdam its name. It used to be called Amsterdam, basically Amsterdam. Houseboats, right? Comes from after the Second World War. There was a very big demand for labor in Amsterdam, sort of get the city back up and running. No lack of housing. So the city says, you live on the water, it's free, no taxes. If you heard of the saying going Dutch,
ask
but it
him.
means splitting the bill on a date, there's the reason this is called going Dutch, right? Dutch people are just known to be quite cheap. So when you tell us something is free, boom, 5,000 houseboats. To the point boats could barely go through, right? The main issue was that none of them were connected to any sewage. You had about 5,000 families dumping all of their waste straight into the canals. Excuse my language, but real shit show, right? Now, if you like to sail on one without having to buy it, a lot of them do tend to be Airbnbs. And there's a bit of a trick we can use to determine which ones have locals, which ones are tourists. When you see the curtains open, is that more likely to be a local or a tourist? I heard both, but local is the correct answer. You guys might have noticed it, walk around streets at night. Dutch people have a real tendency to keep their curtains open till late. This comes from back in the day, going on long spice trading voyages. Men will be gone for years at a time, right? And then the women and children will be left home alone. So it'd be customary for them to leave their curtains open for one simple reason. When you are in the red light district and the curtains are closed, what does it mean? To avoid suspicion, people get their curtains open, right? You might go by, see a person inside, make eye contact with them. If you give them a little wave, if they wave back very happily, definitely Americans. If they wave back with one finger, then you found the Dutch. When you think of Amsterdam, what is the first thing you think of? The canals right here, right? This canal was a bit younger, probably dug out like 300, 200 years ago. Most of the canals are around like 400, 500 years old. How deep do you guys think it is right here? So about 9, 10 feet, about 3 meters, right? So not super deep. We say that's 3 meters, that is a lie. Because what you'll find when you dive down here, first at the bottom, you got 1 layer or meter of dirt. At the top, you got 1 layer or meter of water. Middle though, you got 1 layer meter of bicycles, right? How many bicycles do you guys think this one boat gets out on its own every year on average? And the average tends to be between 12,000 to 15,000 bikes. The record is 18,000 bikes in 2019. As you can see, we have arrived back to the Rijks. Drinking on the streets of Amsterdam is technically illegal. If you still have any alcoholic drink left, you should now leave one on the boat. And then lastly, and most importantly, did you guys enjoy the tour?
Yeah.
It was a very nice tour. You guys were a great crowd as well.
Was this the last one for the day?
So.
Okay. So you don't know?
Yeah, actually, we have one more to go.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll subscribe.
Thanks again.
Nice meeting you guys.
I asked if they had change, so I made sure I tipped them €10.
That's really sweet.